Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Passionate Pilgrim, and we're going to look at the 18th poem in the series, which was likely not written by Shakespeare. And this one's a little bit long. It's a whole bunch of 6-line stanzas with a cute little rhyme scheme to them that'll make sense as you hear it. But this poem goes, "When as thine eye hath chose the day, and stalled the deer that thou shouldst strike, let reason rule things worthy blame, as well as fancy, partial might. Take counsel of some wiser head, neither too young, nor yet unwed. And when thou com'st thy tale to tell, smooth not thy tongue with filed talk, lest she some subtle practice smell. A cripple soon can find a halt, but plainly say, thou lov'st her well, and set her person forth to sail. And to her will frame all thy ways, spare not to spend, and chiefly there, where thy desert may merit praise by ringing in the lady's ear. The strongest castle, tower, and town, the golden bullet beats it down. Serve always with assured trust, and in thy suit be humble, true, unless thy lady prove unjust. Press never thou to choose anew. When time shall serve, be thou not slack to prefer, though she put thee back. What though her frowning brows be bent, her cloudy looks will calm ere night, and then too late she will repent that thus dissembled her delight, and twice desire, ere it be day, that with which scorn she put away. What though she strive to try her strength, and ban and brawl and say thee nay, her feeble force will yield at length, when craft hath taught her thus to say, had women been so strong as men, in faith you had not had it then. The wiles and guiles the women work, dissembled with an outward show, the tricks and toys that in them lurk, the cock that treads them shall not know. Have you not heard it said full oft, a woman's nay doth stand for naught? Think women still to strive with men, to sin and never for to saint. There is no heaven. Be holy then, when time with age doth them attaint. Where kisses all the joys in bed, one woman would another wed. But soft, enough. Too much, I fear, lest that my mistress hear my song. She will not stick to round me on the ear, to teach my tongue to be so long. Yet will she blush, here be it said, to hear her secret so bewrayed." So this is an interesting bit, and in a weird way it reminds me of Polonius giving advice to Laertes before Laertes goes back to school. But some of the advice looked at through today's lens is maybe a little uncomfortable. So let's take a little look at it. He starts out by saying, when you've fallen in love, when you've chosen the woman that you want to be with, listen to me because I have some good advice for you. I'm not super young and I'm married, so I have some advice to tell. And in my advice, make sure that you tell her that you love her and do everything that she wants. And when you're gonna buy her gifts or give her praise, make sure that you're lavish with it in such a way that it sticks with her, that she remembers it and keeps on. And he's like, and always be trustworthy and true, unless she cheats on you, but you shouldn't be the one to push her away and select somebody else. You should still be there if she starts to push you away. And now things start to get a little uncomfortable, because he talks about how, if your woman is frowning at you and saying no, she'll change her mind when she's alone by herself at night and wish that she had you there. So you should still stay there, to wear her down, because she will eventually give in, and then you'll be able to have her. And one of the stanzas even ends with the lines, "Have you not heard it said full oft, a woman's nay doth stand for naught," which is maybe one of the earlier writings of no means yes that exists. And it's a little bit icky, but it shows that this even existed back then, that when women were saying no to men's advances, the men were being taught that that no doesn't actually mean no. It means nothing. The woman still actually wants you. And I also like the sort of joking around at the end of the following stanza where he says, "Were kisses all the joys in bed, one woman would another wed." So that's hinting at a proclivity for, or a penchant for heterosexuality, that men can do things for women in bed that other women can't, which I don't know how well that holds up. If somebody else wants to, argue for or against that in the comments, have at it. But what he's saying is men can satisfy women better than women can satisfy women there. So as she's saying no, she is still going to yield, and she's going to want you, and she's going to enjoy it in the end. And then in the very last stanza, he's like, "Oh, I've said too much. I've said too much. My wife is going to come and give me a hard time for having given all of her secrets away, but she'll be embarrassed that all of her secrets have been given away like this." So it starts out really cute, but through today's lens, it gets a little bit uncomfortable. But it's presumably one man giving another man advice on how to woo and win a wife. I don't know. Do you think this sort of thing would work these days? Leave me a comment, and I'll see you tomorrow for poem 19. Mwah.